To celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers, I thought I'd share with you guys my EDC system. Since I'm a big nerd and I say I see the world in flowcharts, I thought I would put it in a flowchart to share with you guys. What's going on, everybody? This is Lamar with MF and Research. I promise, as busy as that chart seems, it's really not as bad as it seems. And hopefully by the end, you may have some ideas on how to organize your EDC system so you can figure out what you need when you go out for the day. But before we get into that, let me just say thank you. I always think it's corny when YouTubers say thank you to the subscribers, but it's real. I really mean it. I appreciate the comments, the recommendations, the feedback, the interaction. I just really appreciate all of that. It's fun. It gives me an opportunity to talk about stuff that I really love and I'm passionate about that maybe not many people around me really care about. So I don't have to try to talk to my wife about flashlights and knives and slings and backpacks and things like that. I can talk to all of you guys who are passionate about that stuff too. So thank you for that. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking again. Thank you for commenting. Even on videos like the iPhone video, all my Android folks, thanks for those comments as well. And stay tuned to the end. We're going to talk a little bit about a giveaway that I'm cooking up. So some of the videos I've talked about in the past, what I'll do is I'll put them together in a playlist and I'll put it in this description. It'll be the EDC System playlist. So what you can do is always check back there because some of the areas I haven't covered in a video, or if I make changes, I'll add them to this playlist as well. So this is a way you can really keep track of the EDC system if you see something you like or you're curious about. And as we're going through this video, keep a sharp eye out because I may tease some items that are coming up in future reviews. After we walk through everything on here, I'll give you some examples just to show you that it's really not as bad and as busy as it seems. While it took me a little while to put together, I did sketch it out. I was on vacation, sitting on the balcony on a cruise ship, and I sketched this all out, finished it up on the flight. I know, I'm a nerd like that. It's fun sometimes. The first thing in the morning I'm gonna decide is, am I leaving home right now? If I'm not, the first thing I'm gonna do is grab the damn it pouch. That'll just sit with me in case I need something while I'm in the house doing things. If I am leaving the house, it takes you down the path a little further. So the first thing I decide is, am I getting out the car or not? So am I going to go pick up some food? Am I just going to take the kids to school or something like that and go play in the drop-off line at school? If you've ever been in the kid drop-off line, you know how fun that is. And if that's the case, I'm going to use a more minimal EDC. That used to be my alpaca hub pouch. That was actually one of the first videos that got over 1,000 views and I got really excited. I've since retired the hub pouch. I used to just use my garage built gear pouch, put that in the console with my phone and my AirPods, but I got tired of that. I got tired of my phone falling out of my pocket when I got out the car. So I picked up this guy and we will cover this guy later. I call this my micro sling. So that's where I'll go if I'm not getting out the car and I just need the real basics on me. So if I am going to get out the car wherever I'm going, I need to figure out if I'm going to take my iPad with me or not. If I'm not taking my iPad, I'll go to what I call the small sling. And that's usually something around 2 to under 5 liters. You've seen those videos in my Alpaca Go Sling Mini and my more recently, the CT Tactical CT3. That's what I'll take with me because I don't need my iPad. I just have basic EDC type stuff in there. Every now and then I take the rough enough sling that I have, but I use that more for if I'm going out collecting B-roll or something or want to shoot a video outside. So I don't really use that as EDC as much unless I'm out doing YouTube stuff. But every now and then I like to challenge myself and go to my micro EDC and just take that by itself and see how far I can get with that. It still doesn't hold my phone, so I have to put that in my pocket, but otherwise micro EDC and phone and I'm good to go. So now if I'm taking my iPad, this is where it gets fun. So first off, I need to decide, is this the overnight trip or if I'm just going out for the day? We'll go to the easier route first because the not overnight stuff gets into the real meat and potatoes of my EDC. So if it is an overnight trip, what I'll have to do is figure out if I'm going one bag travel or not. If I am going one bag travel, the goal is to use a one bag travel backpack. I don't really do that too often right now because I don't have a one bag travel backpack. I thought the Thule Ion 40 liter was gonna be that for me, but it didn't quite work out. I may just have to suck it up and get the travel backpack, but there are a couple backpacks that have caught my eye in the 35 to 45 liter range. If you've seen some, let me know as well, because I am looking for one of those in the future. If I'm not going one bag travel, I'm going to take one of my 2-bag travel setups. I did a video on the different ideas and different setups for that. So that'll also be in the playlist. So I usually have that and a travel backpack. I'm usually taking something like this guy right here. We're going to talk about this in the future as well. It's loaded up because I took it on my trip. But it's usually a bag between 25 and I say about 32 liters is what I consider a travel backpack. Something that if I really wanted to do it in a push, I could use it as a one bag travel. But what I usually use that for is all my accessories, all my snacks, and all those things like that. If I'm on a trip, that'll accompany another bag. If I'm flying, this bag will go under the seat. If I'm driving by myself, it can go in the passenger seat. If I'm driving with the family, it can go in the back seat in the floor under my son's feet. He's in his car seat still, or booster seat. Here comes the fun part of my EDC. If it's not overnight, it's a day-to-day trip, and I'm taking my iPad. So if I have to go into the office, I do work remotely probably 95% of the time, but sometimes I have to go into the office and I'll take my EDC backpack. That's usually all I need, is something usually 18 to 22 liters. That covers everything I need because a lot of the other things that I would need to work are there. If we're going to church and there's a meeting afterwards, I may need to take some notes. I may need my iPad to look something up. I may need a couple other things. So I'm gonna just take that same EDC backpack. Hey, I hope you're liking the video so far. Don't forget to like, comment with any gear reviews you'd like to see in the future, and subscribe to MF for Research. Any support helps grow my little small corner of the EDC community. Now back to the video. If we're going to church and there's no meeting like that and I just have my iPad in case something comes up or I have to look at something, I'll just take a large sling. This is probably the area that needs the most work. This is the area that I'm trying to figure out the most. In the past, I've tried the T21 by Timecodes. I've tried the T24 by Timecodes. I've got a couple other slings that you'll see in the next few weeks that I'm testing out to see if they fit the bill on this. In addition to all those, I'm trying to figure out if a large sling is the way to go in that altogether. It might even be that a small backpack might be the way to go. Something like the small Able Carry, I think 13, or the Alpaca Metro, or the Air City Pack. Something that's under 15 liters and nice and small might be better than trying to use a large sling. So I haven't completely been sold on the idea of a large sling, so I may do some comparisons on that. Let me know if you're interested in seeing that comparison. If you've got some recommendations, let me know those as well. So next up, let's talk about what I would call going out for leisure. If I'm going somewhere with the family or I'm going by myself, depending on what we're doing, we may just be out going to, like, say, taking the kids to the botanical gardens, taking the kids to urban air, taking my son to Chuck E. Cheese. Hate going to Chuck E. Cheese, but he loves it, so sometimes we go there. So just different places that I may end up going, maybe looking for rare bourbons, whatever the case may be, wherever the day takes me, what I may decide to do on a Saturday or an off day or something like that. I'm usually going to take the large sling, and if it turns out in the future that I decide small backpack, this may go instead, just because I never know exactly what I'm going to need while I'm out and about, and this just gives me a little more space to handle all those things that may come up since I'm not sure what I'm going to do in that given scenario. So next up, if I'm going to the coffee shop, I'm either talking about going to this kind of coffee shop, or I'm talking about going to what I like to call this kind of coffee shop. So if I'm going there, I'm usually going to kind of relax, unwind, maybe do some YouTube work, maybe do some deep work. I can put some headphones on and kind of zone out and get some stuff done. Just kind of feel the environment. I am a strong introvert, but every now and then I like a different environment with some people around doing similar stuff. So if I'm going to one of those, I'm usually going to have the tablet. I'm going to have some extra accessories. If I'm going to the other kind of coffee shop, I've usually got my cigar EDC with me. So I'm going to need a little bit more space. So I'm going to take the EDC backpack with me. So last up, if I'm going to a multitude of places within a given day, so let's say I'm going to lunch after church, or after church or something, I'm going to look for some model kits or something like that, or I may go to the coffee shop and then meet my wife for lunch. If it's not that combo like that, I'll stick with the large sling like I have in other places. But if I am, I'm usually going to take the travel backpack just because I'm going to need that space. If I'm going to have the kids, I may need snacks, may need change of clothes. There have been a couple times we ended up at a water park or something like that, so we needed clothes and towels or something. Or like if my son has swim lessons, or my daughter she's getting ready to get into volleyball, so for volleyball practice, we may do something after that, or if she has a game going somewhere. It just gives me that functionality to take what I need after an event, or to handle multiple things in a given day. One more thing I forgot to add, when I do take the travel backpack with me, the 20 to 25 liter, I usually stuff one of the smaller slings in there. just in case I want to just peel that off if I'm just running in the store and I don't really want to take the whole backpack in there, or if you're in one of those situations where you may look funny walking around with a backpack. So that way it kind of reminds me of like Optimus Prime coming out of his trailer on the back of his truck. I know, 80s cartoon references. That is my EDC system. There's probably a couple mistakes in the flowchart because I put it together real quick, but that's usually how I put it together. It's not really that complicated, and I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say for the day I wake up, I don't need my iPad, and I'm just going out and about looking for rare bourbons. I'm gonna take a small sling. Let's say I'm going into the office for the day, EDC backpack. So all that stuff looks busy, but the decisions are actually very quick, very easy. They just take a couple of seconds. It's just a way to put it on a sheet just to kind of keep myself honest sometimes. And if you want it for yourself, let me know and I'll share it with you in the comments. And that way you can take a look. It'll maybe help you in the future if you're trying to figure out just to make sure you have the right amount of stuff or the right bag for the job when you're out and about. One thing I didn't include, duffel bags and totes, because they kind of overlap multiple categories just depending on what's going on. Like if we're doing anything that involves water where I need towels, swim clothes, goggles, totes are going. But that also fits under leisure. So I didn't want to put those in because the chart's already a little busy and I wanted to try to keep it to one page. And there aren't enough situations for that where I wanted to put that on here. Because you get the general idea. And if you really want to, totes, duffel bags can kind of fit multiple categories. So you can replace EDC backpacks with totes. You can replace travel backpacks with totes. You can replace large slings with totes. You can replace travel work backpacks with duffel bags. You can replace one bag travel backpacks with duffel bags. So you can kind of mix and match as you see fit. I'll let you try that if you like. So now, just as a thank you, I wanted to talk giveaways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one more week to just nail down the final details on the giveaway to figure out exactly what I want to give. And I want to figure out the method for conducting the giveaway that's both easiest for me and easiest for you guys out there. I'm open to suggestions on how to do the giveaway. I'm open to suggestions on what to give away, what you like to see. So what I'll do for the rest of the week, leave this video open and you can put your suggestions in the comments. And then on my next video, I may do 2 videos next week. So the video that comes out on Friday, I'm not going to say anything about the giveaway. You'll have had to watch this video, so it's kind of an Easter egg. So that video, the next Friday that I release a video, which will probably be November 1st, I'm gonna put the giveaway rules in there and we'll probably run the giveaway for 30 days. So I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. I'm excited about doing the giveaway. It's gonna be my first one. Let's see what we can do. Again, thank you everybody for watching, subscribe in the comments. I really appreciate it. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. This is Lamar with MF and Research, and I'm out.